Captivity and the plagues. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shalt be removed into all kingdoms of the earth.
Go ahead.
Verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. I kind of want to go into that one. Anything that happens to us as a people, alright, verse 27. The Lord will smite thee which the botch of Egypt, and with emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. The Lord shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, and as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So
no man shall save thee.
Mm-hmm. And whenever it says spoiled, it's not the type of spoiled where you're given all these different things. It's spoiled as if the people are going to be ruined. The people are going to be plagued. The people are going to be face issues and just constant repetitive. It's almost like it's going to be a bad luck chasing us no matter where we go and what we do. Exactly. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes.
Let's hit on that. That verse right there. Mm-hmm. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Now, we all listen to music, and we all know, what do every musician, rap artist, all they want to do is have somebody else's wife. Mm-hmm. Like, Future, my guy, listen to Future, but one of his most famous songs was, I Just Your Bitch in Some Gucci Flip-Flops. You know what I'm saying?
Say it. Sad.
Why couldn't just get a, you know what I'm saying? We don't even see a single woman as, we don't even see somebody that doesn't have somebody as a diamond. We only want what somebody else has. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there you go.
Nah, you're right. You're right. So let me read that scripture again. So Deuteronomy 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So, to go into our kids are going to be, arrested put in jail. They're going to be kidnapped. We talked about human trafficking the other day, and it kind of goes into this scripture because a lot of our children are being stolen. They're getting their rights and their liberties taken away from them. And this is not to talk about the times when they are wrong, because there are times when our children are wrong and they get in trouble for it. But this is talking about the times when, they're wrongly taken from us, wrongly accused, and other areas like thrown into to the foster care system. We've had a lot of our people lose children to the foster care system, and unrighteously we've tried to fight it, but they've been taken away from us unrighteously. So these scriptures are talking about what's going to happen to our children. They'll be thrown in jail, and they'll be under the care and provision of somebody else, and that other person may not necessarily want the best for them, so they treat our kids as if they mean nothing. All right, so Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Meaning, we'll try to do what we can to save them, but sometimes we won't, have the resources to protect them or keep them away from these things. Verse 33, the fruit of thy hand and thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and cursed alay, or oppressed and crushed alway. So, I was born in Africa, and I came here to America. One thing that I always take pride in is giving our brothers and sisters credit for building this country and pretty much setting the things in place for all nations and all people to come into this country, right? But for all the things that, our people have done in this country and built, they don't really get the credit for it, and other people are reaping the benefits of the hard work that the people who were born here, and people who built these things, strived for, All right, so we're going to go into verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs, with a sore botch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Now, this is a very important scripture that I want us to tap into. So it says, thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. Basically, in these times, we would be labeled or considered Africans, blacks, Moors, all these things, all these labels and words that were given to us away from the true identity of who we are, which is Israel. And we would take on these words, and it would divide us even more, because you will have some people saying, I'm this and I'm that, and why should we, work together when you're this or you're that? We have nothing in common. Meanwhile, many of us are suffering the same things, but because we have a different title, or because we're given a different title, we don't see the brotherhood, or we don't see the importance of protecting, our brothers over here, or our brothers from different areas. And these bywords and these titles and names that we're given keep separating us. So instead of putting our differences aside to come together for one goal, we just keep fighting each other and we never go anywhere. So that constant repetitive cycle of going back at it and separating ourselves from one another, we haven't seen the effect that it's had on our communities. So.